and I welcome the opportunity to say a few words on this, Minister. And the first thing is Housing for All. That's a wrong title, really, because it would be more accurate and more honest to say no housing for a substantial number of people, in particular 10,805 people homeless. Of that, 7,585. It's important to read these figures out now, Minister, to you, because these are people who are homeless. 3,220, given a total of 10,805. Now, as I have said repeatedly, and at the risk of boring you with repetition, at what point do you say our housing policy is not working? Will it be 11,000 homeless, 15,000 homeless? What is the figure where it gives you cause for reflection? Because it hasn't happened yet. And just before I go on, today in Galway City, people have to leave, homeless people who are being accommodated in B&B have to leave their B&B in the morning at a particular hour, have to stay out all day and back at 6 in the evening. I understand in a number of premises no visitors are allowed. Now, this is what we're doing to people. On top of that, the council, I'm reliably informed, are saying our homeless accommodation is full. Now, if it was an exception, I'd understand that. But this is a direct result of your policy and the previous government's policy. Because I had 17 years as a city councillor, and from 2009, no local authority houses were built, full stop. Shortly after that, you brought in the HAP, and you told us there was no other game in town, and you proceeded to house people in private accommodation on taxpayers' money, plus a top-up payment. It used to be an under-the-counter payment, and then the top-up payment, and you privatised the system of housing. That's what you did. And you're putting in over $1 billion alone into that. And every time I stand up here, heads are shaken as if we have an ideology. I believe that housing is a right, a fundamental right. Without shelter and security of tenure, you cannot participate in society. It's very difficult even to be healthy with the constant moving and the constant insecurity. So let's look at some of your own targets. Nearly 2/3 of all local authority home loans have been declined since the scheme opened at the start of the year. The Controller and Auditor General report on the Housing Agency. By 2021, the agency completed acquisitions 868 residential units, 54% of its target. And what do ye do? You continue with schemes that are actively bolstering the market. Let's look at your very, very favourable Help to Buy scheme. Let's look at your review that you didn't publish until you had made the announcement. The scheme promotes demand for new housing in a market where the problems that exist are unequivocally supply restraints. Let's look at this. There are weaknesses in the Help to Buy scheme, and they're trying to help you there with this very awkward sentence. It cannot be concluded that it is sufficiently efficient to represent value for money. Consequently, we conclude it should be withdrawn. A rational approach would not design the scheme as it currently exists. It cost 200 million alone this year. It's going to go over $1 billion from the time it was brought in, and it's helping those. Am I over my time? No. It's helping those who are richer and don't need a deposit. All of that set out. But then, Minister, you take the one sentence where it says, but you can't do away with it now. You have to renew it for 2 years because it's become too big to fail. And it's embedded with the other policies that are bolstering the market. What we need is public housing on public land, along with many other changes.